Outback, and it's called Razorback. It's director Russell Mulcahy's first feature, and you may know him as the director of many videos on MTV, from Duran Duran to the Rolling Stones.
Matt Dillon in the Flamingo Kid. That's at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Central. Tape while you sleep. And
goddesses, right now. And at 4, you'll see Elizabeth Taylor in that 1957 classic, Raintree Country. Now, there's no way...
Followed by Rob Reiner's hit comedy, The Sure Thing, a personal favorite of mine, at 9 o'clock. Part of the star in The Breakfast Club. Then at 1 o'clock, and you don't think we planned this or anything, you'll see me playing opposite Linda Fiorentino in Gotcha.
Then at 9 o'clock, a bizarre suburban couple try a new twist on the neighborhood barbecue in Eating Raoul. And modern girl Daphne Zuniga will be around to host that one. Then at 10:30, Jackie Collins stops in to host Mikey and Nicky, starring Peter Falk and John Cassavetes. I'm Michelle Russell, and I'll see you a little bit later.
Feature, starring Klaus Kinski. Then stay tuned for The Doctor and the Devils, starring Timothy Dalton. That's at 1:15. Creature is the Cruisers, starring Michael Pare and Tom Berenger. Then Halloween screams on when Dr. Demento shows up with one of his personal favorites, Charles Aznavour, singing Too Scared to Scream. And if you still haven't gotten your fill of horror, set your tape machine for VCR Theater, 3 a.m. to Central, so that you can watch Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Director
When Eddie Murphy becomes a Beverly Hills Cop, a movie you're not going to see on HBO or Cinemax. Then at 1, a team of teen commandos goes into the heart of darkness as toy soldiers.
Robert De Niro in Brazil. And then at 11:30, The Future is in the Streets with the Warriors, a rock and roll action thriller. There's also Murder Ahead When the Runner Stumbles. That's at 3 a.m. to Central on VCR Theater. And now a man with in 2010. Then at 11 o'clock, we'll travel back into the past with The Love Goddesses, a history of sex in the cinema. And don't forget VCR Theater. That once again is 3 a.m. to Central. Tonight we've got Woody Allen's cosmic comedy, Love and Death. And '84, starring John Hurt and Richard Burton. Then at 11 o'clock, Beau Bridges tracks a nun killer in The Runner Stumbles. And now, I hand the crystal ball to Frank Zappa, composed The Omega Man. And then at 11 o'clock, Visit Brazil with Jonathan Pryce and Robert De Niro. And of course, we've got VCR Theater. That's 2 a.m., 3 Central. That's actually 3 a.m., 2 Central. We're going to run 2010, starring Hal the Computer. And then at 11 o'clock, Joe Bob Briggs puts on, and I mean puts on, his critic hat to host Drive-In Theater. Our feature tonight is Nana. And make sure that your VCR is set for VCR Theater. That's 3 a.m. to Central. Diane Keaton and Albert Finney star in Shoot the Moon. And now...
'82 in the movie Conan the Barbarian, and it's coming up next. And then Pamela Sue Martin tries to save her husband from drug addiction in Torchlight. And don't forget, before you go to sleep tonight, set your timers for 3 a.m. 2 Central, because Superman is going to be flying high on our VCR Theater presentation. The movie channel really is the perfect VCR accessory. The role of Conan...
A Nightmare on Elm Street, the movie directly responsible for 19 mass murders in Times Square last month. And then we got 2 more incredibly bloody chunks of film, Invisible Strangler at 10:30 and Silent Madness at midnight. But we got something even better than that. Movie Channel Silent Madness, which is about another mental asylum guy that gets loose and kills every blonde that the guy in the last movie forgot to kill. Then at 1:30, John Hurd and Levon Helm are going to get caught up in a bad drug deal in a flick called Best Revenge. And speaking of bad...
Men, up next in Woman of the River. Then at 6:30, take a break with Short Film Showcase. And at 7, Goldie Hawn gives us a little lesson in protocol. When audiences saw Sophia...
Then at 1:15, the Eliminators get rid of unwanted pests, like mad scientists in a sci-fi spoof. In 1970... A teenage boy faces life with a tragic, disfiguring disease as Cher and Eric Stoltz star in Mask. We recently got a letter from West Liberty.
Smash hit The Road Warrior. Then at 11 o'clock, we'll pull into the drive-in theater with our host, Joe Bob Briggs, and he's got a movie called When Nature Calls. Before you hit the hay, do set your timer for VCR Theater. That's 3 a.m. to Central, and catch Chevy Chase in Modern Problems. April.
And then at 12:45 tonight, we're going to have a flick called Mischief. Got a few breaths in it, not too bad a flick. But okay, let's...
In Murphy's Law. Then at 1 o'clock, Ken Howard shows his own kind of courage as Father Damien. Charles.
have Hotel, where Carl Malden wanders around the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco for 2 hours. And then at 3 o'clock on VCR Theater, we got Lady Jane, about a lady named Jane. Now... At 11 o'clock, we got The Best of Times, where Robin Williams tries to win the high school football game 20 years later. This is one of Kurt Russell's best flicks. At 1 o'clock, that's a flick about 18-wheelers taking over the world. Big Stephen King wrote and directed it down in North Carolina. And then at 3 on VCR Theater, we got War Games starring Matthew Broderick as a kid that starts World War III with his little computer. One interesting thing about... right now on Drive-In Theater, but after that I want you to keep watching, because at 1 in the a.m. we're going to have P.O.W. The Escape, which is one of only 74 missing in action prisoner movies we'll be showing this year. And then at 3 a.m. on VCR Theater we got Death of a Salesman. Don't watch that one if you're real depressed. It can really put one on you. I don't even know where to begin. Then after that, keep watching at 12:45 for Girls School Screamers, which is about a bunch of jailbait running around a haunted house in their 90s. And on VCR Theater tonight at 3 in the morning, we got The Servant, which is a real old English movie, like about from 1963, starring Dirk Bogarde and James Fox. And I never have watched it myself, but I looked it up in the Leonard Maltin TV Guide, and he gives it 3.5 stars, so you might want to skip it. Now, last month we had to keep watching, because at 1 a.m. we got April Fool's Day, Splatter movie, came out last year, fairly decent. And then at 3 a.m. on VCR Theater, we got Nomads, kind of a Twilight Zone kind of deal with Leslie Ann Down, Pierce Brosnan. I hadn't seen it, but I talked to this old boy that works here, and he saw it, says it's okay. Not great, it's okay. There ain't a whole heck of a lot to say about Malibu Express. It got a plot, but I don't remember it. But the main thing is...
Mark. That's followed at 5:30 by The Truth About Haunted Hollywood in Hollywood Ghost Stories. Unlike many of us...
Turns as Mad Max in The Road Warrior. Then at 12:45, stay up for a story about the perils of showbiz as Tony Curtis stars in King of the City. You know, a few years...
Hollywood, one of Michelle's all-time favorites. And then after that, let me get this stuff out of the way before I introduce her. After that, keep watching, because at 12:45 we're going to be showing Half Moon Street starring Sigourney Weaver and Michael Caine. And I hadn't seen that one, so I don't know what the heck it's about. And then at 3 a.m. on the VCR Theater, be watching for Tough Guys, starring Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster as the world's oldest gangsters. Pretty funny picture. All right.
And tonight's Movie Channel exclusive director's cut is Manhunter, Michael Mann's Manhunter. That's up at 9 o'clock. Right now, it's...
Far from the Madding Crowd. That's coming up at 9 as Romantic Novels Week, hosted by One Life to Live's Andrea Evans, continues here on the Movie Channel. You know, few actors of swashbuckle... begins now at 12:45. Assassination contains what I think is one of the more...
You're watching the Movie Channel. All movies 24 hours a day. The Heart of Hollywood beats on with the Love is a Mini Splintered Thing Marathon. Stay tuned for Something Wild at 12:30, followed by She's Gotta Have It at 3. Watching the Movie Channel. All movies 24 hours a day. The Heart of Hollywood beats on with the Love is a Mini Splintered Thing Marathon. Stay tuned for She's Gotta Have It at 3, followed by Once Bitten at 4:45.
Then we invite you to stay tuned for Joe Bob Briggs with the Rita Mae Brown classic Slumber Party Massacre. That follows at 11. You know, babies are certainly showing up. The classic of the week is the Oscar-winning movie Sweet Bird of Youth, starring Paul Newman and Geraldine Page, which our special guest host Roger Vadim will be here to introduce. Our next feature, and then we invite you to stay tuned for Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. That follows at 11. And make sure you set your timer for 3 a.m. 2 Central and catch Travels with My Aunt with Maggie Smith. That's our next VCR. We invite you to stay tuned for Helena Bonham Carter and Denholm Elliott in A Room with a View. That follows at 1. You know, in the... Then at 11, Angela Lansbury is a granny with big eyes and big teeth in The Company of Wolves. And don't forget to set your tape machine for VCR Theater tonight at 3 a.m. 2 Central. We have got Spencer Tracy in The Old Man and the Sea. Meryl Streep has the enviable position of having worked
The streets of the Lower East Side in a love story called Smithereens. That's at 1:10. Matthew Broderick's successful enough that he's probably...
After that, we have a short film showcase at 6:30. And then we've got Eddie Murphy in The Golden Child. That's up at 7 o'clock. Our regular subscribers already... Fringe Dwellers. That's at 3 o'clock. I don't know, maybe it's the movie rating system, or maybe...
In Palm Springs. Bet all you're going to find in Palm Springs, though, is these actors with IVs hooked in their arms. And then at 3 a.m. on the famous VCR theater, we got Death Wish 3, where Charles Bronson, it's one of those Charles Bronson movies, one of those sweep the scum off the streets movies, one of the best ones ever made. Okay, Witness.